sure to Tyler, make sure we get him scheduled. All right, awesome. All good stuff, Mom, busy. Yeah, better than the alternative. Yeah. Zan man. Jiminy Cricket. Please. Ready? We just really need to think about what we're doing from our pitch deck and our website. I'd like to make those decisions now so that we're in a good place for, December 1. Jeff, how are you, my friend? Ohio life, right? So listen, it's really nice to connect. I've been keeping tabs through Peter. It sounds like things are going well, and I'm happy. I know you're super busy, so I wanted to grab 2 minutes to A, say hello, and B, we've been doing a social digital audit product here at Vayner that's been going extremely well, and I wanted to make some curveballs to it, so I did a few things on spec to teach my ninja team that I put on it how I want it done. And one of the brands I asked them to do it on was just because I knew you were there, and by the way, I'm super aware of all this, but I'm playing long game with our relationship. So I wanted to send that over to you with the context of I wanted you to see it because I think it's valuable insight, and I want you to use it with whoever you're working with. I'm not worried about getting business this time. I'm worried about staying in your circle because I believe in you. And so I was gonna do the spec work anyway, so I figured I might as well do it on 3 or 4 brands that were relationships outside my current roster. So we have something pretty cool. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm gonna send it to you. Feel free if you want any clarification, you can call me directly. I mean, we've been having some crazy results with like real stuff. If you find yourself in New York, stop by. I'm thrilled to show you under the hood. It's just black and white. Like if you want to sell or at Albertsons, you can prove it. It's just everybody's more reliant on Nielsen's and modeling mixes internally than actual depletion reports. Our MMM says we're losing and our sales are through the roof because we're running Facebook as TV commercials and the MMM doesn't recognize it. The end. I'm willing to give a lot because I have a much bigger plan than your current role. So we'll talk soon. I'll send that over. Take care, man. Bye-bye. Yeah. We gotta talk to Vimeo's comms and see if they care about anything. Thank you. Morning. Hello. Hello. How are you? Nice to meet you. So nice to meet you.
Pleasure, Gary.
How are you?
Carlos.
Such a pleasure.
Amazing. A pleasure being
Should
here.
I speak Spanish?
If you want to.
I can't.
Alrighty. Vamos a tener toda la conversación en inglés.
So I think the biggest thing that every immigrant watching this, and every person, but obviously being an immigrant, I have those feelings for that audience, is you've already won. See, that's what people don't understand.
There you go.
You've already won. Let me explain. Picking the right business, having the right talent to see where the world's going, there's intuition. There's nothing I can say to make you do that. There's talent, there's timing, there's luck. That's real. So I'm not worried about that. You know why? I'm not in control of that, nor are they. I'll tell you what they are in control of. The reason they've already won. And they're just willing to work much harder than the people that live in the place that they were born. When you were born in America, when you were born in the UK, when you were born in Canada, when you're born in these places that have stability of democracy for a long period of time, you're softer.
Correct.
I don't know, I'm willing to go work picking up garbage right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem so crazy to me.
Not at all.
I just did it. I've done it. I don't know what else to say. You know, when you realize you go to a land of opportunity, when you leave Venezuela, I don't give a shit if you were an engineer, a doctor, you know, the wealthiest car dealership. When you've lived through 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9 years of dictatorship, communism, socialism at scale, and you get to leave somehow and go to a place of capitalism, you're willing to wash dishes. You're willing to drive a taxi. You just are, because you're so grateful for the opportunity.
That is correct.
That's it.
Totally.
And so the things I normally preach, patience, immigrants have that. Immigrants come and they're patient as fuck. You know, they live in shitty apartments, they don't buy nice things, they eat minimally, and they save, and they save, and they save. And so, you know, I think, especially the current economic, political climate in America, where there is a big group of people pushing against immigrants, I understand how an immigrant can get down,
Correct.
can get worried, can get concerned, can get bummed out. I give them the recommendation that I live with, which is put your head down, work, and everything has a funny way of working itself out. And remember that you've got it better. If you're complaining about immigrants, you've already lost to immigrants.
Right.
All right, my friend.
Thank you so much.
So nice meeting you.
9:49.
Yeah, because there might not be one. How are you?
So good. How are you?
You travel with tripods?
I'm
Such a
doing a
pleasure.
favor for Paulina, who's on the Spotify account. She
I love
needed a stabilizer. I was like, I'll bring it over.
That's awesome. How are you?
Awesome.
Good. It's a real pleasure.
Yeah, so good to finally meet you.
How long have you been at Vayner?
9 months.
Sorry it took so long, Quinn. Do you feel like you have the outlet to come and speak to Claude, me, or Aaron, or Dylan, or Jason, or does that feel like, ooh, that's like a big, to go up there to ask for that may be inappropriate or too big of an ask?
It's a big ask, just because I don't really talk to Jason or Dylan.
I think you should. And I think you should say that I told you to do it.
Okay.
Use me as your air cover.
Okay.
And talk to Claude too. Like when I have those company meetings or send those emails, I mean it.
Yeah.
I know nobody believes me.
Well, we don't want to bother you.
But I mean it.
Okay. Thank you.
Like what's supposed to happen otherwise?
Nothing. Not
Right.
if you don't act on it.
And you have to act on it with grace and respect. You can't walk into Jason and be like, you put me on this now or fuck you. That's not gonna work.
No.
But even knowing that that's what you're thinking creates opportunity. Even you didn't have to say it to me now.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, nothing would happen. Now, you're gonna say it to Claude, you're gonna say it to Jason, you're gonna say that I told you to do that, which then creates you all the air cover, and then maybe something will happen.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, now you know. Just keeping it inside, then you don't even know.
Right. Because you never even vocalize it to like hear yourself say it and be like, yeah, you know, I actually do want that.
Yeah.
So.
Again, as long as you do it with grace and respect, there's nothing wrong with asking. Demanding is very different than asking.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. Yes.
really important to me. I want to share with you. As you know, it's been a tough summer for me. July was pretty much a career low point. It stopped me in my tracks. I did a big reflect on myself, my management approach,
Yep.
my leadership approach,
Yep.
management skills. And I spent weeks identifying areas of weakness, places I can improve, what I can do to make sure
Yep.
I'm bringing your vision.
Yep.
And Claude gave me some coaching. I modeled how he was interacting with folks. I looked back at my 18 months and identified the fact that like I was really manager first, not leader and coach. I was just trying to keep it together.
I get it,
not let
and
it break.
and listen, I'm a big boxing fan. Styles make fights. Two of the best boxers in the world get in the ring, you're sleeping by the 5th round because they both have a similar defensive style and it's not an interesting fight.
Right.
There are leaders in this company who've walked into fluff situations where all the air cover's been created by me, everything's fucking rosy.
Right.
You walked in, your timing in those 18 months, you guys had a lot of things to deal with. So look, I think there were, I didn't stop you the other day and give you those, like, I watch a lot. But I think I'm so excited by the tone of your conversation that I want to equally throw back at you as like, sure, we can all do things better. You had an interesting circumstance, there was a lot to do there.
Yeah.
You also have a partner who's creative, so you took on the stress of everything. I saw that.
Our
like,
dynamic, it worked in 2015, didn't work.
Yeah, and also like it could work forever, but the things that it does to the personality of the person that has to do that part runs the gamut. Not to mention, I forget nothing. I remember soccer practice talk. So like, I'm empathetic. There's a reason you didn't get fired.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So, I want you to know, I listened to the feedback.
I
took it very seriously.
I know better than that because you've acted on it.
Yeah.
You can't act on something you didn't hear. So.
Yeah, it's top of mind for me every day.
It's going really well, right?
And I told Claude.
Are you like pumped?
I'm pumped.
Doesn't it feel good too?
I'm turning the corner.
Well, I'm super aware.
I mean, when I look back at my own management training, I didn't really have any.
Yeah.
I was a freelance production guy. I was show running. I had teams for a finite amount of time.
Listen,
and it went away.
I know so much of this. Talk to me about the part I'm interested in.
So forward.
Before that, how does it feel to like look at the peeps and the way they look at you?
Now.
Yeah.
It feels good. Also because I'm more focused.
Yeah.
Right. I'm caring about.
Everything. You're caring about everything now.
Like I want to know who these people are, what they care about.
You care about everything now.
And I have enough people scaling me now that I don't have to do it for everybody.
Yep.
And I got 2 line producers.
You know what else happens? You know what else happened to you? It happens to everybody at scale. You start learning that people are capable of doing things too, and if not, you're even better off letting them fail. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. I mean, you know this, I don't micromanage shit.
Yeah.
Biggest complaint of all you senior people is like, am I even here? Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's a huge value prop, and that happens at a scale growth too. You can't do everything sometimes.
Yeah, so
it's good, man.
I want you to know that I intend on earning back the trust.
By the way, that little winky wink I gave you was massive acknowledgement of that. By the way, I genuinely believe. Yeah. My trust was waning, but I don't know. We fire a lot of people when trust is like to me, trust is interesting. It's like it's very binary. Either I have it or I don't. So the truth is, I kind of always had it. I wasn't pumped as much as I am right now about it. Right now, I'm very confident, especially because you have a big advantage over a lot of other people. You've tasted both sides of it now.
Sure.
I have more confidence in you now than 90% of the org.
No, I mean, I was feeling the thin ice all summer.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
And I know I was a burden. I didn't want people.
You weren't a burden. Listen,
I didn't want Aaron.
Listen. Here's the good news. Here's the good news. I appreciate that, but you know what? We all went to bat. We were all fighting for it. We were fighting for it. Mm. Think about how cool that is. We were fighting for it to work.
Right.
That's what nobody gets. That gets me so mad. Only thing I do is to fight to make it work.
Okay.
The amount of money, time, and energy that this company deploys to have this conversation is through the roof. And the sad part is, I only get to have one of these for every 4. You know?
Right.
All the others is wasted time and money and energy, right? But this is so valuable.
Yeah, no, I'd appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this moment. I had one with Claude, I had one with James. I want you guys to know that I'm very focused.
The whole thing is going very well.
It's top of mind. My
Your
interactions.
people know it. Dude, the fucking way they feel about you is fundamentally different.
Good. I'm glad that's coming through.
It's real.
Yeah. I mean, my 2015 was very like results driven.
I get it.
Build this practice.
I get it.
This year it's about like.
And you were drinking out of a fire hose. There's a million
How
variables.
do I care about the people that are here that I got?
I knew, I
Optimize.
really genuinely thought the Aaron thing was gonna work out. I thought he would bring you value.
Yeah, and we were close before.
I know, which is why I was
He's
confident.
always been my boss, but now it's a different.
It's a different thing because I also know that you also have to understand he was also molded in a different way here.
Mm-hmm.
He, you know, it wasn't that he's better or different. He just had the benefit of kind of think about what you're gonna do for everybody now. He just had the benefit of going through it.
Yep.
You know, maybe he didn't have the same narrative. That's almost really irrelevant.
Yeah. So now we have some new hires.
Yep.
We have more creative producers.
Yep.
I'm spending most of my time with them.
Yep.
Because structurally
Yep.
we're a little stronger
Yep.
across.
Yep.
And I want them to have a good experience every day, positive. And when I give critical feedback, I want you to know that I'm also like couching it on both sides.
Honey
with-
Empire.
Right, reinforcement.
Honey Empire.
Doing a great job.
Honey
Show
Empire.
me your work.
Honey Empire.
And I'm seeing the results. Last year was like surgical strikes, and that it wasn't working for them.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not how humans work. It's good for, you'd be a great engineer.
Yeah.
You understand?
Maybe. Thank you.
I'm super pumped. This was super
last
fun.
thing.
Yeah,
So you're gonna see and keep hearing good things about me
I believe that.
because I'm heads down. I'm making this.
I believe that.
Coming back from it. I'd love it if you could spend some time with us.
It's a very big conversation
Tell
here.
about it. Okay, cool.
Very big.
Maybe we could do like a town hall thing.
It's a very big deal.
People can do Q&A.
Because
with you.
it's a problem, and now I'm going away for this TV show. It's a top 2 stress in my life. But I also had to like work on the meeting we're about to have. Like I've got some ideas of also what I want that to be and how I want it to be, which you'll be working with me on via Skype probably in November, December. All good stuff. The answer is yes.
Okay, cool.
The answer is
I
yes.
said maybe the end of this month you had an opening.
I'm gonna try to sneak one in before the end of the year, and then I'm going to be there every month.
Because I think people want to get
They have to.
reconnected. They want to hear from
They
you
have to.
on like a
No,
Q&A
it's a real
basis.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Talk to you
Appreciate
soon.
it.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh wow, okay, been here 6 months. I came in from the world of music entertainment. My previous job was with Mr. Combs, aka Diddy.
I'm aware.
And
Alex loved meeting with you and all. He kept like backshowing. He's like, "You've got Joey's like you're gonna love this."
Yeah, like when I first came here, I was like a little nervous, only because I came from chaos.
Yes.
Working in that type of industry.
Yes.
So just seeing how everything is like tight knit here kind of scared me, but I started falling into place.
Yep.
I was able to be myself because I'm not the one to be like, not prim and proper or coming from like an Ivy League school like these kids, but I came in from like a strong background of just dealing with hands-on
Like
learning.
doing.
Yeah. Like
Learning
that's how
from
I
doing.
learned, From
Me-
doing it.
Me too.
So excited
And I
about
think the
that.
thing that I think you've probably already learned is if you're good enough, I don't care if you've been here for 40 years, I don't care if you're my cousin,
Right.
I don't care if you are a Patriots fan, which I would hate. Like if you can do it, both in your skill
Yeah.
and in how you roll as a person, just like I made the video, I don't know if you watch it, Honey Empire.
Yeah.
I care about both.
Yeah.
I care about both.
Yeah, because I was scared coming in. It's like, oh, is she a little bit too like, I don't even want to use a term, but too urban, or is she gonna fall straight with clients, or is she gonna? I'm used to a boss.
I'm the most rogue of the whole bunch.
Right. I would just, but no, I see a lot of. I can't just keep comparing it, but I see a lot of how Puff groomed me to like working here.
This is,
Just
you know,
be a beast.
like, look, I don't know if it's the cliche, I don't know how, you know, Puff's world looks, but to me, like, definitely not too urban.
Right.
Like, to me, it doesn't matter what the culture, what makes this place great is no matter what it is, the skills both in people skills and hard work, will trump anything.
Yeah, and you could definitely. I love here. I love working here.
Good.
I had a great time.
Good.
And
Good.
I'm happy
Keep it going.
I'm here.
Ping me if you ever need me.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
I'm Gary.
Sophia.
Sophia, how are you?
So good to finally meet.
Such a pleasure. How long have you been here?
So I've been here for like a month and a half. I started as an intern and they offered me the junior art director position 2 weeks in.
Yep.
And it's been amazing. I'm working with Aton.
Yep.
It's been incredible.
Good.
I have crazy Vayner pride.
Good. That makes me happy.
Yeah, and I've just been taking on projects and getting involved with different people and trying to carry out what Vayner stands for. And yeah.
It's awesome.
I actually brought this because I asked everyone in the office to doodle a picture of something that like resonates with them or that they love. I scanned all of them and I'm gonna collaborate all of the doodles and make like a big piece of art for the office.
I love it.
New awesome office. So I brought this for you to maybe when you
Doodle?
have a free second to doodle for me.
Yes, I will. I'll doodle while we talk.
Okay.
I've got doodling capabilities. So tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from the city.
New York.
Yeah, New York
Awesome.
City on the Upper West Side, and then I also grew up in Israel.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Where? Tel Aviv or
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem? How long did you live there?
For about 5 years total.
In what times?
Went 4th grade to 8th grade, and
Yep.
then every summer I worked on a kibbutz for two months.
That's
and
cool.
then-
So I was born in Belarus,
yeah, nice.
and I left in '78 when
Nice.
all the Jews left, and so a
Nice.
lot of my family went to Israel too.
Nice.
And but everybody eventually made it to the U.S. by the mid '80s.
Cool.
But I get it.
Nice. It's
cool.
Are you Jewish? Or? Oh, okay.
So in '78, there was something where I left Russia through political asylum because Israel and the U.S. teamed up to get Jews out of Soviet Russia
Yeah.
because it wasn't a very good scene for Jews in Soviet
No.
Russia. So that's kind of my background.
I love it. Awesome.
And so what else are you into? Are like you super arted? Oh my God, I almost wear this. I cannot believe you're wearing those sneakers.
Are they
I
fucking amazing?
Not only they're fucking amazing, I actually started putting them on and decided I wanted to go low top instead of high top because I was lazy. We literally almost wore the same sneakers today.
So you have the low top of the Flyknit?
No, I have that exact pair,
Oh.
but I was lazy this morning. I pulled them out, and it takes me an extra second to put those on versus low tops.
Agreed.
And I was like, fuck
It's
that.
hard.
I don't have a second.
I feel you. Hello.
Hello.
It is nice to finally meet you.
It's nice to meet you,
It's
Priscilla.
like 4th time maybe.
How are you?
doing?
Good to see you.
Great. I'm a little cold. I'm shaking because of that, not because of you.
No worries.
I always have that blanket on, so I have to thank you for that.
No worries.
I was like, I can't bring it into his office.
So tell me about yourself, Priscilla.
So I am from Florida. I moved to New York City back in April with no job or place to live. I just knew I had to be here. I was an advertising major. There's not a lot of opportunity in Sarasota. Honestly, it's an old people town.
I know it well.
And so, really?
Yeah.
Small world.
Yep.
So I said, all right, you know what? If advertising is what I want to do, I need to go get my feet wet where the heart of the industry is, and that was New York City. So I packed up my suitcases. I couch hopped from friend to friend for about 3.5 weeks.
Good for you.
Yeah, I found a place to sublease in Astoria, Queens, because it was pretty cheap. And then I eventually got this job, but I have to tell you the weirdest thing about it all was that a week before, I didn't even know what VaynerMedia was, and I didn't know who you were. This was before I got my interview. But I saw a video of you preaching to recent college grads. I graduated in 2015, and it was you saying, you have this 5-year window to attack it, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, this guy's amazing. This is so inspirational. So I posted it on Facebook. A week later, Alex reaches out. I have my interview. I meet Joe and Camilo, and I eventually get the job. And I looked at my Facebook timeline, and I noticed that it said Gary Vaynerchuk. I was like, no way. That's my CEO. I'm working for this company now.
That's so awesome.
So it's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but I am happy here.
I'm glad.
Happy here. I didn't move to New York to settle for any job. I, moved here to chase my dreams and to work hard and to hopefully, succeed. And
Good for you.
I love Vayner.
What can I answer for you? Anything you're curious about?
All the changes that have been happening, I guess, in terms of
There's a lot more coming.
yeah, I'm sure. Is there any insights you can give already as to how it's been going? I know you said,
it's all gonna always be good.
yeah. Okay.
I don't know, like the video I said, like if you have true heart and good intent and good stuff, and you're also a fucking beast and want to rip people's throats out of their bodies, you'll always win.
Okay.
So, you know, how's it going? It's all pockets, you know, we're at scale.
Absolutely.
Some things are going phenomenal and some things are horseshit, but net, unbelievable and about to get way better.
Solid. Cool.
Communicate
Absolutely.
is the biggest thing I would tell you. Don't get just pocketed into your world, and those mentors, use Claude, use me. I think of it as everybody out there as governors, and this is like DC.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If you ever need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the vibes I'm getting, it seems like it's going really well, so I'm not, but you never know, right? You get put on team, manager above you is, you know, the thing I'm worried about for a guy that fits your profile is there's always that concern around meritocracy, if there's like raw talent, how they handle the patience game when people above them or around them aren't playing that same game. That's a tricky one. But if you can win it, you win big.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life interacting with people that are not as strong as I am. I mean that.
Yeah.
Once you can calibrate that, it all fucking flows.
Okay.
A lot easier when you fucking ate the shit for 20 years like I did to get to the point. Not as fun early in the game, but I'm telling you that in case you ever want to have a conversation about it.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Have a great day, man.
Pleasure to meet you.
You guys are gonna shut up, so just
What's that?
if you spend 15 here, you're gonna be 15 behind. You're gonna pull people in.
Yeah. Hello. Hi. How are you? I mean, you were so fired up, I was intrigued. So hey, we just want to spend some time with you guys and say hello and see what's up. And Kim and I were chatting. We thought it'd be a good idea to like get together, like we have in some other times. And so, I guess in the limited time that we have, as I was thinking about this meeting, I think the first and foremost thing is a tricky one there's a tricky thing I want to start with, and I want to hedge it by saying it's a tricky thing because I think you guys remember with the all hands on, I have a lot of fear of the entertainment team, the creative team, the Bud Light team. I have enormous fear of that. However, that's just life. I mean, there's only so far communism can take you. So, with that said, and with it being very important, and I would say I want to be very transparent. There's a lot of people here that I hope I get to interact with for the rest of my career, and yours. That it's important to not let it trump anything that is the logo. But with that being said, the first thing I want to start with is thanking you from the bottom of my heart of having enormously strong DNA in the thing that I probably care about the most when push comes to shove, which is this team over the last forever and definitely over this last year has performed at a hustle level that is inspiring to me and very honestly brings me vibes that I want to like break all of you up and put you in all different places so that you can bring that to the table. And so for that I want to thank you, and really it's appreciated and it's very real. Two, I thought about something that was super important to me. There's so many people in this room that I just don't spend any time with. And I'm just, it's funny, I'm looking at Hussein and some of the others that have been here like that. Alex, like, I'm just never gonna win this game. I'm just not gonna win this game. I'm just not. I have to it's kind of like the Jets, I just have to wrap my head around it. It's not happening. But anything I can do in this limited time together right now to like, look, I'm a very fond believer in the leaders of this ecosystem, but what if you're having a problem with them? Like, not super fun to like how do you have that talk if you're struggling with your boss or your boss's boss or your boss's boss? One analogy that I'm gonna start using a lot at Vayner is the United States, and I kind of view some of the things you'll see structurally that I'm about to announce and kind of what's in place with me and Claude that I referred to, or James, is, I look at Chris and Kim and Hussein, I look at them as governors, and I look at myself as Washington, D.C. I really genuinely want you guys to know this, and I don't know if you know it. I think some of you know it, but I'm gonna just pound it. Like, I just don't have any more vested interest in Hussein, Chris, or Kim versus Jody. I just don't. To me, it's all the same. And so the quicker people understand that, the quicker they feel safe, the quicker we can have real conversations, the quicker I can address shit. You know, obviously the video I sent last week, in lieu with the email, I'm not going to be able to defeat what happens outside these four walls that creates an enormous amount of cynicism, fear, negativity, but I will chip away at it. And if I can get one of you to feel more comfortable to like stop by and say hello. I mean, there's someone, Katie, I'm fucking like, I don't want to go. Katie, I don't want to go 4 years in between 5-minute chats. So, you know what I mean? So now, listen, very frankly, to some of you, like, if shit's cruising and it's phenomenal, great, because I'll take the 5 minutes back, because there's 74,000 other fires, but I want to continue to pound to remind you, especially when you get caught into such a tight-knit ecosystem, that like, this is not VaynerMedia. VaynerMedia is different for every person based on the people they interact with, but the intent is very consistent, and I just have to continue to pound that. And then finally, really, I just kind of thought what would be really smart for 5-10 minutes is maybe do a Q&A. You know, I've been talking a big game of town hall Q&A for the whole company, and I've been miserably inefficient since I haven't delivered on it. And it's already top of mind for like, I have to crack that nut because I think it will solve a lot. And so I'll banter for another 2 minutes here while I get you to think about how much courage or what question you want to ask. But as I stall for that 1 minute, I'm very, very thankful for you guys' efforts. I'm excited. There's a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe. A lot of exciting stuff. Our brand within the ecosystem of entertainment is very strong and growing. I'm getting a lot of inquiries from studio owners and media companies and networks, and so I'm really, really proud of what's going on here, and I want to thank you guys for that. I think it'd be really smart for you to clap for each other and then look directly in somebody's face. I apologize for the cheesy nature of that, but boy, do I fucking I love fucking clapping. An SVP, like there's a lot, this is big. This has been a lot of time in the making. This was a lot of my August by myself. How do I win in 17?
Let's go Cubs!
You're like, motherfucker, I haven't been able to watch one play of an Indians game.
You're not gonna be able to see from Texas.
In 10 minutes, and I have to go speak at Columbia, but I'll see you Friday, probably.
Okay.
I mean, super punchline is, I made a macro decision predicated on my belief that you wanted to go into the CPG world with me. Let's go. Avi's outside?
Yep.
Avi!
I'm gonna text you a little map. This Avi knows exactly the hall you're going to. Classroom's 301.
301? That's my dorm room.
Let's do it.
This is what you have for...
This is what I planned. I have a second email with other stuff if you don't want to go with this, but I think this will be...
So Foxglove is going, right?
We haven't done right. The Signees In is the next one. Peter's going to have it any minute. This is
Great.
the Parker 91, okay? Cornerstone.
So are we going to price it right now, or you
Sure.
want to do that?
Yeah. You ready?
Yep.
And how did you want me to market the Foxglove, if there's any other way? Did you want me to title it? Do you want to title something like that?
I definitely want to title it.
Okay.
Make sure I do, okay?
Okay.
I can probably do that tomorrow. I'll go on Wi-Fi after I catch up.
That's fine. Okay.
That's when? This Thursday?
That's Thursday. Yeah, the wine's coming in tomorrow.
Okay.
Signee is $10 cost. Searchers $19.99. It's one store. The SRP is $24. 91 Parker. It's 350 cases. Remember, we didn't really have anything.
Yeah, let's go $24.99, $19.99, and let's go $18.99 free shipping by the case for 1 day only. Got it? Where's the Cornerstone Pinot? You'll get me that bottle? We need that.
And then you'll rate that probably, right?
Mm-hmm. I'll probably make a video too.
Yeah.
When am I here, D-Rock? Thursday night?
Thursday.
Friday? I'm here in the office Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay, we have to do it Friday.
Okay.
We should always be,
$1 less.
or some price less and free shipping.
Okay.
Got it? We had that for a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go. You know where we're going? Do you know how dead I would have been doing that like 2 years ago?
You were gonna, hey Gary.
Hey man. Oh. I'm so sorry. But there was something interesting that just happened. Did you ask him, would he invest in the person who, if he took the turn deal, which was the early deal, right?
Yeah.
Well, the answer to the interesting part there that was interesting is he wouldn't have not known the other outcome. Like if they took that first deal, you just wouldn't know.
Right.
So I think that's something that I'm always fascinated by, which is people are so crippled by decisions. There's just no way to know what would have happened, you know, at the time when you're making that decision. So much of this is Monday morning quarterbacking that I'm fascinated. So anyway, nonetheless.
Let's move over into the middle.
Yeah. I've known this man since I was 14, 15 years old because my family had a liquor store in Springfield, New Jersey that I started working at when I was 14 that I later turned into something called Wine Library and launched one of the first 3 or 4 e-commerce wine businesses in America called WineLibrary.com back in 1996. And your professor here was a hardcore wine nerd that knew way too much about not wine for such a young dude, and I was a child, but like that was my whole life and what I cared about. And I built my dad's business from a $3 to a $65 million business, but I did it on digital marketing innovation of the time. In 1997, I had an email newsletter that had 91% open rates because nobody was email marketing. And instead of sending catalogs from Sherry Lehman's or Zacky's, I was getting to customers first with the hottest wines on this thing, email. And I was trying to send as many emails as possible in 97 because I thought people would eventually charge for it. Like it was just like, it seemed such a great deal. Launching a website, email, really. I mean, you know, it's funny, it's like, but very honestly, you know, if we start talking about VR, we're gonna make a lot of assumptions right now that are either gonna play out or not play out in a 20, 30 year window. 1996 internet was a whole different fucking world. And so I kept innovating, bought the word wine on, you know, the day Google AdWords came out for 5 cents a click. That was a good bet. And owned it for a long time and just did a lot of smart digital marketing things. And then I did a show on YouTube a couple months after YouTube came out called Wine Library TV where I sat in front of a camera and drank 4 bottles of wine for 20 minutes. And a lot of people watched that and that's how I kind of hit the scene in the tech world. And then what happened was YouTube sold for $1.7 billion. And I was like, fuck, I was right about e-com. I was right about Google AdWords. I was right about, you know, cookie retargeting banner ads. I was right about YouTube. Maybe this skill I have for selling more, you know, Burgundy and Priorat can be deployed against something more financially interesting. So when I read the article about YouTube's sale, there was one article that featured Ron Conway's angel investment. And I said, what the fuck's an angel investor? I Googled it and, you know, within 20 minutes decided I would be an angel investor and went to South by Southwest 3 months later, became friends with Ev Williams and Blaine Cook, the original CTO. And I think your firm at the time, me and Kevin Rose, bought up Blaine's original stock at Twitter. So I bought a ton of Twitter, real cheap. I didn't think of myself as an angel investor. I just thought that was a smart decision because I thought Twitter would be big. Then I went home from South by, made a, well, it did for me because I sold my shares, so I did good. But came home, made a video. I was making wine videos. Came home, made a video that said Facebook should be worried about Twitter. There was a guy, head of platform at the time at Facebook that I didn't know by the name of Dave Morin. He sent me an email. He's like, hey, this video has gone really viral inside of Facebook. Would you come out to Palo Alto and give a talk? So I came to a room like this in front of the whole company. There's only 400 employees, and talked about consumer behavior and why I thought the world was changing. That caught Mark's attention. We went out to dinner that night, and a week later I bought a lot of stock from his parents. And then somehow I got David Karp to reopen the B round of Tumblr by the way, stick with me here, the B round at a $14 million valuation. And I made an investment into Tumblr. So the first three things I invested in were Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. Yeah, I mean, it was when I was smart. I was making bets on things that I thought would be successful. I didn't think of myself as an investor. I got progressively stupider after that.
Why do you think that was?
Because I started trying to be an investor. I literally went from being, I'm a businessman, these are good businesses, this is good. The market changed. I mean, this is Tumblr B round 2008, B round 14 million. Now every fake bullshit entrepreneur running around this campus wants 7 million, 4 million for their bullshit idea that they have no prayer on because entrepreneurship is popular, and instead of going to Bain and McKinsey, they think they can start a fucking app that people are gonna use.
Those of you who are clapping, are you clapping because you just described you?
The brand equity around being an entrepreneur today is stunning. It is stunning for me to in the world, like I can't believe how cool it is in real life to be an entrepreneur. And that makes a lot of young individuals gravitate towards that.
Is that, but you're suggesting overall that's worse than if those young individuals went to work for Goldman Sachs or McKinsey?
I am, because I'll tell you what we are
you don't
not.
think the world is a better place, even with the bad ideas?
No, I do not, and let me explain why. Okay. The biggest conversation that I'm fascinated by is the suicide rate at Wharton last year. So we have, in parallel, a narrative that anybody can do it. And everybody's entitled to win in entrepreneurship. And there's an underbelly in our world that I'm concerned about. And you know, we've talked about this in a different panel. This is a big thing. I mean, like, there are certain individuals who've been winning in the first 20 years of their life in a game that was fixed before they played it. And then they go into the market, and the market punches them in the mouth, and they don't know how to react. And so yes, I do think, for the cliche picture that I'm painting right now, there are certain individuals that I just genuinely believe would have had a better life being the number 7 at Facebook instead of the number 1 of shit book, or making $230,000 a year on Wall Street or consulting land at 29 years old. Yes, I think there's a lot of people that will be better. Like, I love entrepreneurship the most, but nothing works when it's forced or off balance. Nothing. You know, I don't get to judge who should. I'm just excited to see how it all plays out. Do you know what I mean? I mean, who should do anything in the world? The people, you know, what I love about this is there'll be plenty of winners during this era. There'll just be a lot more losers. You know? And so that's all, it's just a timing thing. This is so classic. This is every market on everything, always and forever. It's why I love brand so much. This is when brand takes over reality. I know, that was a big statement. So I think a lot of, like, so I grew out of, my crew grew out of the angel, super angel, guys and gals that were successful in their first internet business, made some money, and had enough Twitter followers, let's get to the punchline, to attract unbelievable deal flow. I made a lot, I'm gonna continue to make a lot of money from that pocket, but a lot of us shouldn't necessarily be investors. We may should keeping some investment behavior, but we should all really map ourselves. But yeah, I think all of this comes down to the supply and demand of the skills, and I just think people are very attracted to this world. And I think especially when I sit in a class like this, I try to reverse engineer every situation I'm in, especially how do I bring value. If I could get one person in this room to actually pay attention tonight, go home, look in the mirror, and try to start deploying aggressive self-awareness, it could change the upside of their lives. I genuinely believe that.
As long as they don't work for Goldman Sachs.
Or they should. I mean, or maybe they should work for their family business. I don't know, but I know that way too many people just go with the flow. I know how strong-minded I am and how easy that is for me to get caught up. And so I just think it's a worthwhile conversation, especially because too many people make a decision on the now, not on when they're actually playing it out. It doesn't really matter to you if you're going this world today. It matters what the impact is over a 36 to 60 month window, and that you have to really quantify that. Looking at data told you what happened. You need to deploy real intuition and other kind of signs to what's going to happen so you can make the decision for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks
for having me. I'm sorry I'm late.
No, this is great. I appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Hold on.
Ty?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
I want to do a picture. I'm going to get in the middle
Let's
of
do
it
it.
too.
By the way,
Thank you for doing
continue.
I love when we talk. Yeah, it's fun.
Your
Yeah.
mind, I really want to continue.
Pinch in.
It's good to see you, brother.
You too.
Great to see you. Talk to you soon. Hey, wanted to meet this guy. How are you, man? Thanks for coming tonight.
Yes, no problem. I mean, I got out of school today.
That's the best part.
Gonna use any excuse possible.
Love it.
Absolutely despise school. So anything I can do to get out of that. Awesome to finally meet you.
Thank you, man.
I think Elliot may
Yep.
have explained.
Yep.
You actually, whether you know it or not, connected the two of us. 270-something ask GaryVee.
Yep.
Elliot picked my question. He said to connect with him.
Yep.
I honestly didn't even know that there was someone that age doing what I was doing. I do the Facebook version of what Elliot does. I had no idea that there was someone else because obviously.
Sure. I know how it works.
I mean, you're behind the logo.
Yep.
I have no idea.
Yeah, of course.
So to see Elliot and you connect with Elliot. Tons of phone calls.
Nice.
I'm helping him currently build his Facebook.
Love
He's
it.
helping me build my
Instagram. I love
It
it.
works the same
Keep
way.
jamming.
But yeah, so I just wanted to come here. First of all, let you know that your content, there's something that I look at when I'm looking for content for myself.
Yep.
3 things. Information.
Yep.
Motivation.
Yep.
And entertainment.
Yes.
Very, very few people provide all 3.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. That's a very big compliment. Ready to go? Yeah. Cool.
That's amazing.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thanks for having
really
us.
Appreciate
Thank you.
your time.
Headed back home. Gonna change into a suit. Go to a charity event with some friends and fam. And then maybe head out for a couple more meetings. Good day. Some fun meetings. Grind is on.